The Global Sustainability Strategy Forum is an assembly of scholars from all over the world, from all continents. And their purpose is to come together to develop better strategies for a global development towards sustainability, but based on regional analysis.
Expert knowledge about global warming, about the condition of our environment or global health has to become relevant in political actions, in public debates, and also in business life. It's not enough to simply generate knowledge within the academic realm. It has to transcend disciplinary boundaries, institutional boundaries, and communicative boundaries.
The scientist, his word is the analysis, the research, to have an understanding of what he's working with. And the politicians have to decide what is to do with the knowledge we get from them, and sometimes not only perfect knowledge, but knowledge in process. That's the case now for the corona questions, and therefore it's a mutual learning.
If transformative science is our vision, is the goal, then science itself needs to transform. Some scientific communities are clearly stepping into that space and doing amazing work, but they need the institutions that will be able to steer, enable, facilitate, inspire, and reward them in appropriate ways, in ways that provide the conditions of possibility for doing transformative science. And that needs to happen in all parts of the world.
And that is the kind of science that I think we're needing now, which is really bringing into the room the hardware, in other words, the internal motivation for long-term collective action. How does one do that? But not forgetting the hardware. We've seen that with COVID, which brought to the surface the need for accurate data, big data, etc. And also the software, the policy, the institutions, the arts, and the social media.
So it is the role of science to try to feed not only government, not only the business community with ideas, but also to feed these different social movements, whether we are talking about Fridays for the Future, which focuses on ecological issues and climate change, or we are talking about Occupy, which focuses on the financial system, or we are talking about the Me Too movement or the Black Lives Matter movement. It's a waste of energy if these movements just focus on bringing down statues. That's a symbolic gesture. If you want systemic change, these organizations must need to know exactly what they want and what should be changed. And that is where we as scientists can play a significant role.
We have to create a positive future vision of a sustainable society. The digitalisation of life is on a fast track. And this is happening in sustainability topics too. Having to spend more time in one's own home and work from the home office can also be seen as an experimental test for changing lifestyles. Less consumption, less traffic, more dependence on virtual communication, more time with family and relatives can lead to a rethinking of one's own lifestyle.
My impression is that the pandemic has opened our eyes, changed our mindset and our preparedness to take the necessary steps towards a more sustainable economy, towards more sustainable lifestyles, and towards a society which is more open to science and scientific advice.
Since we had a common goal, this goal was strong enough to bring people together, to have a very nice cooperative atmosphere. And I think it was also inspired by the need to be productive, because all these challenges are very urgent that need to be resolved.